The only update since the agenda was sent out was it?
Yeah, it's just,
Okay.
it was just, we realized the PDF didn't go in the file correctly.
Yes, I know it's a shocker, there was only one packet.
I know, I'm like, you're getting
It hit me this afternoon.
good.
Streamlining. Ooh. Are we recording?
Yeah, before we started, can I get the postage to each one of you? Because I have about that.
Can you hold off for a second?
Oh,
Thank you so much, thank you. Are we recording?
Yes, we're
Okay,
recording.
I make a motion to open the meeting. Is there a second?
Okay.
You've got it, Renee.
All right, I'll
I think it was a tie.
Okay, roll call. Trustee Stetser.
Aye.
Trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
All right,
Motion passes.
okay, thank you. Does anybody have any conflict of interest or anything they wish to disclose regarding the items before us?
I do not.
I do not.
And I do not. Okay, Dorothea, would you want to,
I would, except I forgot my
You-
cheat sheet.
you can give us Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes is, if you have questions or concerns to post online, I'll be taking those in the Q&A, or raise your hand, please. Please give your name and address, unless you're under a protected class. We do recognize that. I remember that whole spew outside of be nice to each other, and there we go.
And speak only to the agenda items.
Yes,
at the
speak
evening,
only to
please.
the agenda items.
Yes.
We'll have an opportunity to speak after each agenda item, as well as at the end.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
that kind of covers it, okay. All right, well, we'll nip right into department reports. Treasurer's report?
I went so quickly tonight.
I know.
Brooklyn
It's
sent
just
his
frustrating.
regards. He would be here, but it's his birthday, and
Oh,
we wouldn't
nice.
hear of him being here. So is there any questions to any of the bills?
I guess the only one I had was the attorney, or the Hudson and Russ bill. Did we, was that one looked at?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
gosh, I'm
All
not
the other
very
parties have
articulate.
approved them.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. That's
Yep.
what I wanted to know.
Okay. Anybody else? I'll entertain a motion then to approve the bills as presented.
I will make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. That narrows it
Okay.
down.
Should be quick. Now I just got to remember your names. Trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Trustee Stetser.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Under aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Then we have the village clerk's report. Oh, you know what? I was thinking, will you also talk about just where you are with, because you balanced things too? Throw that in.
Okay, I was a little hesitant to put that out.
No, I think it's exciting news. We heard a yippee.
Yes, the news is this afternoon of everything, finally getting all the auditors' information, making some few adjustments, and within 2 cents, which seems to be the 2 cents, which was hanging out long before I came. So I want to verify that with Williamson Law Book and do whatever final steps. So I'm hoping, not going to say tomorrow, but early next week,
Really closing
we'll
it.
be closing January. And if that closes as smooth as I hope, I'm going to be closing February, hopefully hours after that.
Right.
And, as long as everything stays on the same pace and I don't run into hiccups,
Yeah.
we should be seeing some current reports. So, okay, that
Yeah, that's really
that
great
is,
news.
cross the fingers and everything
Sure.
worked out, but it looks good on paper that I'm looking at.
No, it's all good. It really
Okay.
is.
Also did, as I informed the board on Tuesday, I received today, yes, I received today from the state comptrollers from Albany confirming that the tax cap audit was, no findings, was fine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Okay, so that's good.
which we knew, but that's.
Which they had told me when they were here, but
Yeah.
it's always good when Albany agrees with the auditor.
Yeah.
Is that just a question on that? When we get communications from the comptroller, could they be forwarded to the board? Just so the
Yeah,
board
it just
knows?
came
That would be
in,
great.
it's not even a
Okay.
whole detailed thing, it's just a little quick note.
Yeah, it's a blurb.
Yeah, we'll get it out to you.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
working on other things.
Okay. And what else on the clerk side?
The other important thing, this came in today, we have to make our bond payment on May 15th. I know we have a meeting on May 12th, but I prefer to have a little leeway to get that in. I don't like to be close to it. So that would be the 50,000 on the bond plus the interest. So if I can have the authorization to make that payment.
What's the interest? Do we know? Do we have to be that specific?
It's
Or can we
pretty
make a motion without it?
I think you can make the motion to approve the
Just for
payment.
the interest, I
Okay.
think it's
And the interest.
1750, but
Yeah.
I'm holding to that, because the bond payment, they're gonna come under two separate things, and I just got the bond itself.
Okay,
Mhm.
So I know that there's interest always due when you make both payments.
I'll entertain a motion to move the interest, to pay the payment, I should say, on the bond.
Can I just ask a question first? So that's $50,000. Is that coming, which fund is that from? The general
That's out of
fund,
general.
unrestricted? Okay. And how, I know that we, do we have any estimated fund balance for the general fund to make sure that this is not going to?
It's part of the
push
budget.
into-
It's not,
It's already budgeted.
it's a budgeted, it's, as I can speak tonight, apparently I can't. It's the same thing we did with this year's budget, the New Year's budget, we budget for it. So it's an anticipated expense. It's not coming out of fund balance, it's already a budgeted item.
Yeah, it's accounted for in the budget.
Yeah.
And entertain a motion to approve the payment
I will make a motion to approve the $50,000 payment plus interest.
on the
The
bond.
bond payment.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Roll call, trustee Stetser,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay.
My last item, we received correspondence from a resident regarding the room and the sound with the hybrid meetings, and the board has been aware that we've had issues. I'm hoping tonight the recording is working, and you're not just going to see a recording of my name for 2 hours. We need to review what we're doing here, and I was talking to trustee Lightgev beforehand, get someone in and figure it out. We did budget to get the TV in and all that. We need to have someone else a little bit more IT savvy than me to set this up so it's easy for the clerks to do this.
Yeah.
We probably need another microphone. Since I wasn't here for the last meeting, I did go back and watch it, and I couldn't hear,
Yeah.
Zach was part of the meeting, some of the comments as well, it was really hard to hear, so maybe an extra microphone. But again, I'm not a tech,
No, when we got this, it was better than when we started
Yeah.
to move forward, but
We just
We're not there
have
yet.
everyone step forward when they're going to
But to
make.
get somebody in
Yeah.
who can help assess and give
yeah,
us
I
the,
mean, we had
yeah.
quotes prior and they were running as high as 40,000 to a
Yeah.
low of 50,000. I like to think we're somewhere below that.
Yeah.
But we need to do something, because the point of being hybrid is for the public to be able to hear and see and
Yeah,
get a sense of the meetings, and we're not fulfilling that.
and I don't
If we
think
can't
it would be
fulfill it,
hard.
I would say we don't do it.
I don't think we need much more equipment, like some extra things, and I don't think it should be as expensive as that,
No, I don't think so.
that initial estimate when we first got it, yeah. Okay,
I don't think we need IMAX.
yeah, no, we just need some extra.
So I think once the new
Yeah.
budget year hits, we go and try to resolve this totally.
Okay.
Okay.
Great, anything else there?
Wait, so do we need to make any decisions before the next meeting?
No,
or-
I think I just want to make sure everybody's in agreement that we need to look
Yeah.
at other items for the room, because I do want to address the residents' concern, because I think it's everybody's
Yeah.
concern. We want to make
Yeah.
it work,
Yeah.
and if it's not going to work, we need not to do it. It is
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Good point.
All right,
Okay.
Okay, you're set on the items?
I'm done
Okay.
tonight.
Then we're looking at minutes,
Yes,
a lot of minutes.
we have a lot of
We have a lot
minutes.
of minutes.
the motion to approve the March 7th minutes with the
Corrections.
corrections.
As amended.
I'll second.
Are there any more?
Okay, roll call, please.
Oh, that's me. Trustee Stetser,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
motion passes.
Oh, what about me?
Oh, Mayor Plummer.
We have
Yeah,
just
I'm here.
two of us.
You know what it is? I get most of the people, I'm good.
I know, really. You gotta had a majority there. Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next up are the March 10th minutes. Are there any additional amendments to that?
Yes, we have some from Renee, thank you.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve as amended the March 10th minutes.
I'll second.
roll call, please.
Trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
trustee Stetser,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion passes.
Okay, next up are the March 14th minutes. Are there any additional amendments?
Yes, toolkit needs to be one line. It's the word correct, it pulls it
Oh,
apart.
I know, it does, because I've had that happen. Okay. Is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion, wait, what are we on? The
March 14th.
March 14th, I'll make a motion to approve the March 14th minutes as amended.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Stetser?
Aye.
Trustee Lightgev?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, we're up to March 21st. We're nipping through the month.
No changes on that one.
Okay.
So make a motion to approve the March 21st minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Lightgev?
Aye.
Trustee Stetser?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, and bringing it home, March 24th. Any additions or amendments that we had on that?
Just one.
Just the one?
I will make a motion to approve the March 24th meeting minutes. Oh my goodness.
I'll second.
Okay. Trustee Stetser?
Aye.
Trustee Lightgev?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay,
Thank you.
all righty.
We'll have more next time.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Okay, first up, our non-municipal permit application for the Pittsburgh Community Pride event. And is anybody here to speak to that?
Let me check our participants, just in case. Oh, the hand is Annalise, I believe. Okay, I will allow her to speak.
Okay,
Okay, Annalise, you should be able to speak.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for entertaining our permit. We did this event last year, and you all had to waive the requirement for a certain number of days, but we are
see the screen.
more proactive this year. And we're doing
seems like
that
she's
Pride walk.
Probably talking because.
Got her hand raised.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
has her
Her
hand
screen is showing
raised.
up.
but it's not coming through.
Not coming
So is
through.
it volume or
Oh, what about the volume on that?
on your computer or?
Like some- I don't know
They can't hear
what do we do?
I'm guessing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's on the speaker, it should come right through. Maybe the speaker's too low.
And that's the correct speaker device
Yes,
that's
it
selected.
is.
Oops. Here we go.
Hello?
Hooray. Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well. So tell us what's going on, please.
Sure, we're planning another Pride walk. We did this last year in June. So it's the same plan as last year. We will be getting the proper insurance with the same company we did last year to celebrate Pride Month. And also our Pittsburgh Community Group wants to donate a banner for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month to the village as well.
Yes. Okay, does anybody have any questions for,
I
yes,
did just have
Justin?
one question. Thank you for helping to organize this event. I was just wondering, I noticed on the map that it starts at the town recreation center and ends at the Carpenter Park. So I just wanted to make sure that since that wouldn't be an issue, I just wanted to check to see if you coordinated with the town for using those two reasons.
So our plan is to do what we did last year, which was contact the sheriff's office, and if they're willing to close the streets, we would use the streets. However, otherwise we would just stay on the sidewalks on public property. But we have reserved the space at the Port of Pittsford, that's the ending spot. There is no space to reserve outside of the rec center. It's just a public space that we're meeting in.
Yeah, it's just like last year. Yeah, and the sheriff's office was there. They were helpful.
They were. We're hoping they are again.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be. Yeah. Okay.
This is just a suggestion that doesn't have a bearing on my support for this, but you may just want to reach out to the town recreation department. I think that Jesse Hollenbeck would be the contact there to let them know that you're planning an event in the public space at the recreation center so that they're prepared for that.
Okay, we will do that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
More within the 40 days, right?
No, it's in June,
Right,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're
don't have to
past,
wait
yeah,
anything.
yeah, we're good. I'll entertain a motion to approve
I
the,
think we have.
oh,
Are you for the banner?
Yes.
oh,
Okay, then
okay.
it's
We're not quite there yet.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's all right. Well,
One at a
it's all
time.
good. It's so, yeah, there we go. So great.
So we need to approve this before we move on, the non-municipal use.
Well, yeah, this is the agenda item before us. We're not on the banner yet.
Okay,
Yeah, so.
So, excuse me one second. We're still have a motion on the table. Okay, so we'll get to it. Okay, thanks. Okay. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the Community Pride event.
I'll make a motion to approve the Pittsburgh Community Pride event for June 12th, 2022.
Mhm. Okay, is there a second?
We need 45 days.
I don't think so, it's on June 12th.
I know, we have,
I think we're okay.
I think we're within the, yeah,
Should be okay.
we're there.
Just checking.
I know.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Stetser,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. The next non-municipal use permit application is Embrace Your Sisters. Is there anybody here to speak on that this evening?
Usually, they're not.
Isn't this the same as previous years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
it is.
Positively Pink.
Yeah.
It's a nice event, yeah.
It's a typical walk. I think they do it on Sunday in the past.
Mhm.
And
Event date is 9/25, so we're definitely within the,
we got the 45.
yeah.
We're good with that, right? Yeah.
But I think we just had past conditions of them being respectful of churches and other community events that's going along
There's no street closures, they're using the,
sidewalk.
yep, okay.
Yeah. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah,
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay,
Roll
trustee
call.
Lightgev,
Aye.
trustee Stetser,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi.
Motion passes.
Okay, great. Okay, next up is the Frog House. The application. Find it.
And I believe Ms. Fox is here, and I will. Ms. Fox, you should be able to speak.
Yeah, you can call me Margot because I'm a doctor and I don't. Thank you. And we're friends, so that would be fine. Margot is fine. Anyway, I'm sorry it's sort of late notice, but we have an event this Sunday with Dave Will from Seneca Park Zoo, who is coming to teach us with some apps about invasive plants and frog sounds. We were going to start and end at a frog house, and we would be walking down to the Erie Canal Nature Preserve to the frog ponds and hearing what he has to say. He's going to bring some skeletons of frogs and other educational material. It should be a nice, fun family event.
Sounds nice. Okay, any questions or any?
Nope,
Other thoughts?
we got your email today too.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I think those of us who are on your email list.
Thank you. Thank you. Good.
I will make a motion to approve the non-municipal use
Oh, 45.
permit. Do I have to do that first? Waive, I
Just
can do it
include
all
it.
at once, right?
Just include it.
Yeah, I will make a motion to approve the Frog House event, May 1st event with meeting the 45 notice.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, roll call, please.
Okay, trustee,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I think the dog approves.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'd say
Thank you. That's Binky. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks so much, Margot. Have a great evening.
Thanks. You too.
Okay, so next up, we have the flag donation.
all right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Community. There we go.
Yeah, so I gave the poster to.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, what
Designer is.
I would like
Yes,
to present this poster for our Village of Asian Heritage Month banner. So this is a poster recommended by AAPI to celebrate Asian Heritage Month with some united our vision by working together. So I just want to put together all as no matter what you stand for, but just all of us can stand together. So there's no celebrities, no politicians in these photos. So this represents Asian American under diversity background as well as professional areas. So you can see the different areas. The flowers in this photo represent grace and love, and crown represent longevity. Latins represent culture from Japan, China, and other Asian countries. So there's the two instruments that are from India, that's Indian music instruments. So you can also see masks, status, religious status from the different country in Asian area. So Asian American has been choosing to live in Pittsburgh, and because we love it here, and we really enjoy to be the resident in this place. And we believe we can unite our vision by working together. So that's why we choose these ones. You can see the different colors, different peoples with different background, and want to present our cultures, and also want to encourage ours to try to working with other peoples, in the nations, and we work together. So that's why we choose this one. Yeah, this binder including all the cultures in Asian countries. So we didn't miss anyone.
No, it's pretty inclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, so once you select this one, so they're going to donate these posters for the villages.
Well, thank you. And thank you also for, describing the poster to us and for everybody here tonight so we understand a little bit more about it. I think it's really lovely, and I would entertain a motion to approve this donation. Is there a second?
I'll second. Oh.
Can I just clarify first? This is not the poster that's in the packet.
I was going to ask that.
Oh,
Because the one we received,
that's right.
it's different.
It's the one with all the flowers.
Right.
But this, I don't know. So we
This is
received
the
a
one they're
different.
donating, correct?
Yeah, we are donating this one.
I got a different one. It's in my office.
No, there's two of them. That one is lovely, it's very nice.
Okay.
But the message we give the hands, when you see the hands, it's kind of like reject.
So we will be receiving this?
Yeah,
Okay, that's not the one that's sitting in my office. Okay.
okay, yeah, we want.
So we can
to
trade.
family place.
Okay, no, I think this is really great, and I think it is more expressive and indicative, really, of what we're all striving towards, more inclusion, right?
Can I just clarify too, are you with the Pittsford Community Group who submitted the poster in the packet? Or is this a separate poster that you're proposing?
Well, I received this poster because we are going to have the celebration next Saturday in the library. That's our Chinese group. We also invited another different.
there's two
people.
posters.
That's what I was wondering.
Yes, now I'm understanding. Okay, so we have received two different posters from two different groups.
Yes, I don't know what that group.
Is there anyone here from that group?
I know, do we have anybody even online?
I think that would have been Annalise.
That was Annalise.
But to stay online, to talk
She's
about.
still here.
Yeah,
She's got her hand raised.
So we have two that
Yeah,
are being,
no,
two that are being.
now it's all making
donated.
sense, because I'm thinking,
Annalise, you should be able to speak.
Hello, can you all hear me?
yes, thanks, Annalise, yeah.
Hi, our group, the Pittsburgh Community Group, donated the Black History Month banner. So we also have printed this AAPI Heritage Month banner to donate to the village. It's made by a local artist with all the flowers from different countries. So that's a banner for outside that we wanted to donate. So I guess we didn't realize there was a second group that had a different donation. So I think many people are trying to do great things, it sounds like.
It's all good stuff, it's just that we have two banners. So Annalise, have you seen the other banner?
No, I was not aware that it existed until now.
We can do one of these.
Yeah.
I know,
All right.
so everybody can see the other banner too.
Now I'm going.
So where do we go from here? I mean, we love the banners, but we don't have a lot of room. I don't know,
You know,
one
we
either
have to
side.
have hooks set up.
I wonder if we
Separate.
could break things up and do half of the month with
Yeah,
each or something.
We could do that 2 weeks.
Our banner, we including everything, we including the people, flowers, cultures,
Sure.
and also we encourage people to work together in this village. We build this good community, yeah.
No, I think we understand that, and we understand the intention behind, I think, both groups and both banners.
Yes, I know.
You know, because I think we all want the same thing.
I know.
It's just that now we
Yeah,
have 2 groups and 2 banners.
Very nice too, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but without the people, we cannot make the country stronger, right? That's why we put the people with the banner.
right there with
So
you.
really, there are two separate things here, because we can vote to accept both banners, and then we have to decide what we're going to do with both,
Yeah.
correct?
We could do it that way,
Yeah.
for sure.
Why would we turn down that?
2
I know.
motions.
Yes.
Why turn on
Yeah,
a good banner? I mean, they're both lovely. So,
We have lots of places to.
a motion to approve the banner?
Are we, which
Both.
one?
One at a time.
Let's do,
Let's do one at a time.
Yeah, so what is the name of your group presenting the banner?
The Chinese association group, yeah. Also with other, well, right now I'm the presented by Chinese group, but we also have some Indian moms and some different countries, Japanese, Koreans,
Okay.
join us to
Sure.
provide.
We just kind of want to have sort of a group or an entity to make our motion, you know, to approve the
You can
banner.
say the Chinese, Chinese association.
And what is your name?
How?
Thank you.
and this is, oh, no. You have an event going on at the library too, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, when I see that the poster, their banner is good, but I decided without people, we cannot make the country great, right? So that's why I decided to put the people inside.
Right, understood, thank you. Okay, so then we have the banner, this banner before us, and we can entertain a motion to approve that.
To accept the donation.
To
I'll make a
accept it.
motion to accept the banner in front of us.
From the Chinese Association Group?
Yes,
I'll second.
okay,
Okay.
we're getting through this.
Trustee Stetser,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye,
motion passes.
okay, thank you, we have approved your banner.
Thank you.
It's
I
lovely.
appreciate it, we hopefully.
Yes, and thank you to the group, too.
Yeah, we will make this great.
Okay,
Great.
now we have a second banner before us. Do you have a picture of that one?
Yes, it's in the packet.
Okay, yeah, it's in the packet, so most people have seen that one. Okay, and that is the banner that has been presented to us by Pittsburgh Community.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to accept the banner as presented.
I will, or so moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Roll call.
Okay, trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
trustee Stetser,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion passes.
Thank you, trustee Lincoln, for, I assumed
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
taking the place of
I was
this.
trying to.
Yeah.
Well, if I may, now that we've accepted 2 banners, I would propose that, since we have a month, it seems, in which it might make sense to put these up. Was that part of the proposal for the attendings? I'm sorry, okay.
It is, let's see, oh no, it was just donation, yeah, you're right, same size.
So it's what we choose to do with them, so we can choose to hang them up to celebrate, you know, the month.
And I think it's the same size as the one that they donated earlier in the year.
You know what we could do, we could hang them on either side.
Yeah, we could change the hooks.
Yeah,
Or just put them up for half of a month each, I don't really,
Yeah.
if it's
that's a lot
easier.
of banners maybe would do.
If it's easier.
I mean,
don't know.
DPW would do it, you know.
Yeah, if they move it, we can have both.
Yeah.
Sure, both.
We could have one on one side and one on the other. of the
instead of
stairs.
down the middle.
Yeah,
I'm fine with leaving it up to the discretion of the DPW based on the book arrangement.
is there,
And we can,
Yeah.
whatever.
either way, they'll be hung up. Excuse me, the board is just, I'll recognize you in 1 minute, please. Board is discussing. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we can talk to the DPW about that, about how to facilitate the banners.
There's a book shortage. So.
Yeah, yes, huh?
Yeah, but for the last ones, there's one word I don't like it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
They put the hate. I really don't like this word. That's kind of negative.
Which one?
But
It says stop Asian hate.
Yeah, stop hate. Did you see that, the banner?
Oh, on the banner,
Yeah.
I
So
see.
The message, I'm not really like it,
Mhm.
honestly, personally.
No, and I appreciate that. I appreciate what you're sharing with us.
Yeah, I want to send the positive message to
Mhm.
everybody.
Mhm,
There's no hate in Pittsburgh.
mhm,
Everybody living in a harmony place.
mhm.
So that message send people kind of fight to hate each other. There's so many people, friendly, lovely, and peaceful. Maybe have a couple people not that good. But that not means they cannot present the resident in peaceful.
Mhm.
Right? So everybody are friendly here. That's why we want to give
Mhm.
a positive message to everyone.
No, and I think that's well said, well put, thank you. Yeah, it's a good point.
Have they already printed this one up?
Yes,
Okay.
they have.
They already voted to accept.
Well, they're both accepted, absolutely. They're both accepted. But I really appreciate what you just said. I really do. Where do you want to go with this one? I know. And I think that's an interesting point.
Personally, my preference is for the one that we have on paper in front of us. It does have a unifying and positive message. But that's, I think it's an important event to recognize during the month, and I think that there are multiple ways that we could do that. I do have a slight preference towards this poster.
I'm wondering if we could maybe regroup with the folks at Pittsburgh Community, and maybe just that section, we could maybe do something with another flower over it or something, if they were comfortable with that.
And maybe there's a reason they want that.
Yeah, and that's another discussion to have,
Yeah.
you know.
Would they care to comment?
Is she still on? Is Annalise still on?
She is. Annalise, are you still there? Oh, hands up.
Okay.
Yep, she's here. Okay, you should be able to speak.
Hello, hey.
Yes, hi.
So are you suggesting maybe covering up the Stop Asian Hate portion of the banner? Is that what the suggestion was?
Potentially. I mean, we want to just talk about it, because we did accept both banners. They both, I think we all want the same thing. And I think that, Hal made an interesting comment about that language maybe sort of connotes that, Pittsburgh has this hate, when in fact we really want to reinforce that sense of community and unity and love for each other. So the thought was maybe we put, depending on what you folks, how strongly you feel about it or what your intention is, I think we just wanted to circle back with you.
I appreciate that. I wish it weren't the case that there is and have been instances of hate. There was a youth-led protest in the summer to support the Asian American community, and Stop Asian Hate was kind of the theme of it. And people were yelling out from their cars horrible things at the protesters right in the village of Pittsford. So I think unfortunately there is a level of discrimination that occurs, although I completely respect the fact that the message should be positive and unifying and supportive. So I would be happy to bring this back to my group. We wanted to work with the village. That's why we shared that with you. And if there's, if you would like to cover it up, I think I don't know how that would work, if it could be painted over or taped over. Obviously, we want to work with everyone in the community. Unity is part of our name. That's why the unity and community is capitalized in our group. So I think we all have the same intention and just different perspectives of how to accomplish that.
Sure. Okay. Are you familiar with Pittsburgh Community?
Yes, I'm living here for 6 years.
So, no, but the group that donated. Then why don't we, we'll connect the two groups. And so, I think you can maybe talk this through and come up with something that would be amenable. I think that'd be a nice thing to do. How's that?
I don't know if I have time, because next Saturday we will have
No, we've accepted the ban. It's all good. But I think, here we have two groups this evening. Wonderful people in our community that really want to be supportive. And so I just want to connect, Annalise, I would like to connect you with how, and we can facilitate that through our office, just to make the connection, because you both want the same thing. And I think that'd be a good thing. You're all neighbors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Is that group share Asian or not? I'm the first generation of the
Right.
bridge here. I really like to use that hate of discriminations, bullying. I don't like this negative word. I work very hard when, my English is not that good. But
It's much better than what Chinese for me. So.
But when I came first time to come here, we finished the school here. We worked very hard to raise the children here. The country became better and better. Became great. This country all over the world. So I don't like any negative attitude and negative words. Well, I don't know if she's familiar with how Asian people.
Okay, no, and I think this is a good discussion. Thank you. This really is, and I think all of us appreciate this. So why don't we, Dorothy, could you just take the information and then, we'll reach out to you after the meeting. Okay, and Annalise will reach out to you as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I just have one concern with this, which is that I believe that the intention behind accepting this as a donation and then the board making a decision is that this is government speech rather than just allowing people to independently put up their own content. And I think that by structuring this where the groups, we're saying to the groups, work it out amongst yourselves essentially, and then we'll post the result, could be a bit problematic.
Well, I'm thinking it's just about the three words on the one banner that are of a concern with the lovely neighbor here this evening. Jeff, would you have any thoughts on that in terms of how this would play out?
No, but my instinct would be to say that I agree with Trustee Lightgib that this is your expression, it's not anyone else's expression, but you are getting some good stuff and you wouldn't really want to chill getting that good stuff. So I think it makes good sense to make sure everybody's sort of
on the same page.
Yeah,
on the
same page. It's more like you getting a read on what the community wants.
Yeah. Oh, sure, Bob, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Can you state your name?
Robert Corby, 7 Washington Avenue. And I think there's two messages here. And I think, from listening to this speaker, I hear from you that your message is about Chinese pride and pride of being part of this community. Whereas I think Annalise's is a unity message about anti-Asian hate and the bring to unify people. So to me, it seems like it's problematic to merge them because it's really two different messages.
Well, and I don't think we were talking about merging them in that sense. Like we may go right back to the idea of 2 weeks with one, 2 weeks with the other, because you're absolutely right. They're different messages, but the intent, I think, with both groups is the same thing, that we do want to have the unity. So maybe that's what we do, 2 weeks and 2 weeks. Does it sound as a practical matter for us?
Sure. Do we need to decide tonight, or do we want to wait to hear?
Well, the month is coming up.
Okay, because we don't have another meeting until the beginning.
Yeah, it's Monday, and it's a banner, and these are They both have nice messages, yeah.
I'd like to suggest a slight amendment to that. It sounds like we don't have specific issues with this one, so I would say let's start with this one. And then if Pittsford Community comes back in the second part of the month with a slight amendment, then we have time to adapt to that.
Yeah, there we go.
If they choose.
I think that's a good way to go. So we can hang your banner up for May 1st. How's that? Good?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So that's what we're going to do.
So I'll make a motion that we hang the banner that is in front of us on paper for the first half of the month, and then hang the Pittsford Community banner for the second half of the month with possible amendments that they provide.
We don't know how big this one is, though. We don't know if it'll fit on our,
Yeah, we don't know the size of the banner. Do we know the size?
Yeah, we already ordered it, couldn't remember with the size that we ordered. So.
Okay, can we get your information, Dorothea, can you give her
I
information?
can send you information later.
to know that it'll fit on there.
Yeah, contingent on
Lion
fitting.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and vote, but maybe it's contingent upon whether it'll,
Yeah,
Yeah, we may have
it'll
to-
fit in the area. Okay. Yeah,
okay, so you already made a motion, I will second. I probably should have waited for discussion, sorry.
okay. Well,
We
Dorothea,
should probably wait for Dorothy.
yeah, we'll wait for
Oh,
Dorothea.
yeah. That's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, please check in tomorrow with us, okay?
Yeah.
Whole front of the.
I would guess it's at the
Okay,
library.
we had a
Are you hanging
motion.
one at the library?
And a second.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I
Sorry,
left the action.
Okay,
Trustee
roll call.
Stetser,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, all righty. And now, let's see, okay, it's after 7. Okay, so, well, actually, I'll just very quickly, the Monroe Invitational banners, this is just a heads up to everybody. It's the same banners as last year, it's the community thing, it's good for our businesses and our community. So Steve's just going to be taking care of that. He had a death in the family, so he's not attending. Okay, so
We don't need to do anything.
no, it's
Okay.
just, just standard stuff there. Okay, so we have a public hearing, the short-term business permit at 10 North Main Street, Holiday Hots. Yes.
I like it.
Great,
How are you?
great.
Dan said hello.
I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Are we all? I know, I'm telling you. Okay, so what do we have?
Same thing as usual.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
set up from May through October,
yeah,
end of October. Same hours and everything as last year.
okay.
Nothing new, really.
Any questions on the application? Anybody? It's kind of, good hot dogs, okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the,
Open the public hearing.
oh, that's right, it's a public hearing, I'm so used to just
That's okay.
going right into motions. Okay, make a motion to open the public hearing,
I'll second.
okay, roll call.
Trustee Stetser,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye,
Motion
Okay.
passes.
anybody from the public wish to speak? Okay,
I speak strongly in favor of this, and so does my dog Jack.
Thank you, Bob.
okay. Okay, anyone else wishing to speak? Is there anybody online? Any hands up?
Hold on here. No hands are raised.
Okay.
I see nothing in the Q&A.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Okay, trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Trustee Stetser.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the short-term permit.
I'll make a motion to approve the short-term permit for Holiday Hots.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Roll call, trustee Stetser.
Aye.
Trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Fire up the grill.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Start Monday if we.
Oh, great.
So,
yeah.
Thank you all
I think it
very
was
Well,
this
thank
week.
you.
Thank you.
see you.
See you
We
there.
know spring is here because you're here.
That's what everybody says. As soon as they see the tables, they go, "Oh." Thank you.
All right, take care now.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have a public hearing for the proposed local law regarding our fine structures in the village.
It's actually just in the HPV code.
Oh, that's right, right. For HPB, I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself, didn't I?
I thought I'm scrolling down.
You know, we're all scrolling down. Yeah. And so the intention of this, if you just want to talk about just the intention of why we're looking at this, maybe it would be helpful for people to.
Yeah, I think it gives the judge more guidance about what you're thinking in terms of fines. It takes out the imprisonment, which I don't ever remember anybody being imprisoned for any kind of zoning or any other violation in Pittsford. And the judge indicated in appearance that he had concerns about that, and we're trying to rectify those concerns.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Moved.
Second.
Trustee Lickett?
Aye.
Trustee Stetser?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Is there anybody wishing to speak on this agenda item? Anybody online? Crickets?
Nothing in Q&A? No hands.
Okay. I make a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Stetser?
Oh, aye.
Trustee Lickett?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposed law regarding the fine structure for HPB.
Did you say entertain, or you are making?
I'll entertain the motion.
Okay, sorry.
I'm entertaining.
I'll make a motion to approve the local law amending subsection 112-10.b of the Pittsburgh Village Code.
Seconded.
Okay. Roll call. Trustee Stetser?
Aye.
Trustee Lickett?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Thanks, and thanks for working on that, Jeff. Okay, update on the North Main Street Bridge project. We just sent out a press release today, so it went out in a bulletin, it's on our website, it's on Facebook. I'm sure everybody's been seeing that NISTOT's been out and about and kind of getting things organized for this construction. The good news is that the North Main Street Bridge will not be closed for the Memorial Day Parade. We will have the parade, but the bridge will be closed starting, what was it, June
1st.
June 1st through,
They said possibly 12 weeks.
yeah, possibly for 12 weeks. We are hopeful, just as and it's the same contractor that had worked on the State Street Bridge. They came in ahead of schedule, so we're hopeful that they'll keep it moving. So,
And
Renee, did you want to add anything?
Canal Path will be open.
Yep, Canal Path will be open,
There'll be people.
boat traffic,
Yeah.
yep, and so that's,
I have a question.
yeah.
Were they able to widen the sidewalks or reconfigure the railing, which the width of that sidewalk has been such a problem, as
Yeah.
everyone knows?
It is going to be wider. Zach tried to see if there was updated advanced detail plans, since the ones that you probably saw from whenever that was. We don't believe anything's changed since then. So the sidewalks are wider, not as wide as State Street, which is what we asked for, and what we, in our letter last year that we had SRF put together for us on the restriping. That was one of the main things, and I don't believe they have given that
How
to
wide
us.
will they be? I know now they're less than 5 feet.
They'll be 6, what's the standard? Let me
Yeah.
get back to you on that. I believe it's, because the ones on State
definitely
Street are
wider.
wider. We lost a little bit because they were wider to begin with, wider than the standard. So we're getting whatever the standard is.
And there's another moving
Which is
part.
wider.
There's another
Okay.
moving part to that, though, because they also changed the guidelines for the railings on the bridge.
Right.
So it comes out further into the sidewalk on State Street. So that was a question, in fact, I was going to email it back today to see if they're changing out these railings too.
Though I would imagine they're going to run into the same
I'm
problem. The
wondering.
difference was those were already wider than what is
Right,
required.
right.
And so we lost a little bit there, and they are still within the requirement, whereas
This one, I
here,
don't know.
these don't meet the
I know.
requirement. So I think they're going to have to make sure, regardless of those.
Yeah,
what
we should
happens.
confirm that in an email with them,
Yeah.
because that,
Yeah.
The drawing
That's sort of what
shows
was
they'll
last
have to
minute
be ADA compliant, which
Yeah.
is wide
Which
enough.
would be 5 feet.
Not as wide as what we asked for, but
Right, well, the problem is the snow plows need 5 feet, and it's just,
brutal.
5 weeks,
Yeah.
because the snowplow will still occur.
Yeah,
It's
and you know,
brutal.
we didn't have great luck asking them to, I mean, it's more expensive, they have to, you know, it's,
I understand,
So-
and I also appreciate the board's continued advocacy for this, because in terms of achieving walkability, it's an important issue.
and the good news is those lanes are gonna be 10 feet, so that striping is
That-
gonna be
yes.
bigger. The lane will be 10 instead of what it is now. What is that, is it 11 or 12? It's 11.
Yeah,
So visually, there'll be some cues, so that shoulder will be a little bit,
and they're changing the striping coming off on this side, too.
yeah.
Are they still putting
We
in
still have the-
flashing beacons at State Street and North Main?
State Street and North Main, wait,
No, it's Shane and North Main.
Originally, they were going to put them at the State Street crosswalk and at North Main.
There's no flashing beacons down there, they're putting them in here.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they changed that a while ago.
yeah, that was quite a while ago.
Because they, you know, they don't work as well if you put them everywhere, so I think they were down to just this one location.
Mhm.
What else what was the other thing I was about to say with the, shoot, it'll come to me. The lane, you asked about the big, long left turn lane, which we have pretty much every time we go into meeting with them, we've asked them to remove that, and I don't know what will happen there. I think because
they're-
it's paint, maybe we still have some hope of getting.
No, I think they're really drilling down on that. I think
Okay.
they finally have realized,
They're going to shorten it up.
yeah,
Bravo.
I mean,
Yeah.
Good news.
But we
Falling
haven't
away.
seen new updated drawings.
no, we
that
haven't seen the
confirm that yet.
plans, yeah. But anyway, that's kind of where it's at.
And they're starting on
State,
the
Two.
median too.
oh, the median, they're gonna start on the median,
That'll be done with the bridge work.
and they're also doing the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Sidewalks all the
The
way
median
to
on
the
the
line.
state, they're doing this spring as well?
The median
I'm sorry,
on
I'm sorry, in front
On
of.
North Main Street.
on North
Yes,
Main.
I didn't
Okay,
mean to
North
state,
Main.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. That
No,
was on my
this
brain,
all the way
because,
down.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank you for, no.
Yep.
I meant as part of the bridge work, that,
yeah,
the North Main.
I see the trees came up on State Street, I assume in anticipation of the new crosswalk.
yeah, the new crosswalk, and also, it was NISTOD and RG&E because they're putting in the new poles,
Okay.
so it's, you know,
All together.
here we are, yeah, it's part of their package.
Yeah, they moved pretty quick on the trees.
They really did,
I
I
came
know,
through and already, yeah,
I know,
didn't have much
Yeah.
warning, I don't think.
so, okay.
So is that, so we don't know beyond that, I mean,
Yeah, that's the sort of, you know, the press release is out, we at least have some, you know, some of the basic stuff and some of our dates, so that'll be helpful. Yeah,
We do have a question, it was posted in the chat, and I don't normally read this, but I think they just posted in the wrong spot.
oh,
okay.
This is Peggy Caraberis, she's asking, I've been out of town for several weeks and understand the work is beginning. Has there been an information meeting? What will be happening to South Main Street? It appears DOT will be cutting the corner of Main and Jefferson further back into John Woodman's property. What are the plans for the intersection?
That,
that might be, actually, that might be RG&E with utility poles.
I don't believe that
Yeah.
was with NISDOT.
Yeah, I don't think that is
Drawing,
NISTOD at
so
all.
We should check on that, has but we better go walk down there and see what she's talking about.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's the utility
Utility
poles.
poles,
Yeah,
okay.
but we'll double check, we can circle back. Zach's
They're
not here
wide,
tonight, so,
yeah,
but we can
no.
find out from him, because he has that information.
Yeah,
Our peers would like to speak to the board,
Mhm.
so. If I can hit the right button. I'm sorry, I keep.
and Art did send a bunch of pictures. I don't know if anyone's been on there, okay.
Mr. Pierce, you should be able to speak. Hello?
Art, are you in there? Is it off?
Do we need to push the plus button maybe, or no?
Yep. Hello? Well, it was just working.
I don't know why you said we need some help with our visual in here.
No.
Doing just fine.
Yeah, it's really going well, I
No,
know.
I show he's able to speak, but he's muted.
On his end.
On his end,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's on his end.
If is he on the phone or on?
He's on his computer. He has And what he posted was, can I ask a couple questions running State Street trees, which were removed? So it's,
Well, we can talk, the trees were removed, for the utility poles and also for the crosswalk going in at Durham Way. If that
he
helps.
says it's muted on our end, but I don't have it muted.
Yeah, I mean, I can read the text that Zach sent. He said, all the trees besides a few that were in bad shape that have been removed by DOT are to make room for their pedestrian improvements or for the new poles being installed. So that's the information that we have for him.
Mr. Pierce, you should be able to speak. I don't have him muted.
Okay, well,
So they weren't able, I'm looking at his before and after, they weren't able to put the crosswalk somewhere that.
no, there was that was a big determination of where it could go, how it could go.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a long stretch
And also
without
catch
trees.
basins and runoff
Right,
where things
okay.
are. And,
Yeah, I know they
it was
usually,
a
it's
big,
just a shame that we had to lose.
yeah, oh, yeah.
And we lost one at Sutherland on the north side as well. At Sutherland and Monroe, the one that
Yeah,
when Bob was mayor, we
Yeah.
tried to get them to
I
leave.
tried
but-
promoting him to speak, and
can he call the office tomorrow? We can talk with him?
yes,
You
I'll
know.
give him that message here.
Yeah, we're sorry about that.
The ones at the Highlands, that's outside of maybe he's just concerned that about the way RG&E cut the ones down by the Highlands.
Oh, he's asking if I can read his comments. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the Highlands thinned out the hedgerow along there, and it was terrible. I mean,
They did it themselves?
they did it themselves.
Okay, it wasn't an
The
RG&E?
executive director did it for some reason.
He
It was
did?
terrible.
Oh,
The
no.
buffering that they had.
I know, it was a great buffer.
And the corridor isn't as scenic anymore, so yeah, it's terrible.
I wonder why they did that.
I blamed it on the utility guys cutting it. Whoops.
Okay, I'm waiting for his comments. Can you read my emails to the board? No, I cannot, because they're not on this computer.
I can read his emails.
Well, I think we've addressed some of the questions, right?
Yeah.
About the trees. I know one was about the speed limit. There was another email about that,
Okay, let's see.
which we've been trying to reduce for years and just had another meeting about that.
Let's see, what do I have here? So the first one I had from today? Okay.
Do you want me to see if I can find
I
it?
just say supplemental photos for discussion during.
There's a second email. It's not in that email. It's
It
a
started
completely,
in the morning. I think it's
completely different email.
earlier in the day.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Or I sent it to you in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, you
When I
sent it, you
looked
sent it around
Because I thought
6
it went to
o'clock.
all the trustees and it didn't.
Okay, let me see if I have it then.
I have it, I just found it.
Okay, do you want to read it?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a question as to why NISTOT cannot now change out the existing speed signs on Route 31 from 45 miles an hour to 35 or 30. And this section of Route 31 running the length of the Highlands residential housing development clearly calls out this stretch of Route 31 as being residential in nature. And then Bobby referenced the removal of all the trees and the shrubs, so that NISTOT has for years told the residents of State Street and village representatives they would not lower the speed limit along this stretch based on their opinion that this section of Route 31 is rural versus residential in nature. With the recent removal of the large number of trees and the brush and shrubs, this stretch is clearly identifiable as being residential. So looking to replace potentially existing 45 mile per hour signs with 35 or 30 mile per hour signs. Well, we can give you an update on that. We had the meeting. We did have a meeting with NISTOT about the issues of speed going through that part of State Street, either exiting the village or coming into the village, and had a meeting this past week also with the fire department to talk about putting in medians, actually initially one median that would go in, be a mountable median at the town-village line. So it'd be a visual cue to slow down, and also would identify it further as still an urban area. Because one of the things that was brought up at the meeting with NISTOD, and I thought it was a good point, was that when people are exiting down State Street to go towards Wood Creek, they realize they're in a neighborhood, they see the houses, but they see up ahead woodlands, and they think they're in a rural area, so there's no visual cue. So the median would help with that. And then out of the last meeting that we had with SRF, our traffic consultants, and with the fire department.
And the town.
And the town hopped right on board, because this is also identified in our joint ATP, Active Transportation Plan, to put in another median, which would be a hard curved median.
Pedestrian refuge.
With a pedestrian refuge, absolutely, right where the Wood Creek entrance is. And in that way, it could also link up to the trails across Route 31. So it's not just one median, it would be two. So that is just happening. We're putting together some conceptual drawing, SRF is putting together conceptual drawings, helps to turn it around pretty quickly. The town is very supportive of this and has really been working with us.
And they're exploring adding that segment where there isn't sidewalk on the other side as well, to kind of
further reference that it's a dense area for population. And the fire department was really helpful as well in working with us on this, and had a lot of good ideas too. So hopefully we'll get some plans together quickly.
I don't think it will be able to be done with this resurfacing segment unless they pause. We're exploring that as well to see if they can pause so we don't have to redo things.
Right.
Supervisor Smith's idea,
Yeah, so hopefully we're moving in the right direction. We get some good traffic calming measures in there.
So they can't change the site, to Art's question, though, they can't change the signs because the speed limit hasn't been changed yet. Because NISDOT hasn't agreed to lower it yet in that little transition section, correct? In the town section that he's talking about.
Right, but part of that's so true. And then part of it, and the advocacy still goes on with NISDOT for that, but part of what is great about having the mountable median and then the hard curved pedestrian refuge, it will force traffic to slow down, so that's at least a good point. Yes, designed to slow the speed. So that's the latest update, so we'll keep everybody posted on that.
Okay, he has two quick follow-ups.
Okay.
Are the DOT plans available on the village web to see the improvements which the mayor now conveyed? And don't think
they haven't even been designed yet for those medians. In other words, this meeting just happened a couple days ago, so we're looking at getting some conceptual plans together, and then we'll start talking about it and putting them out in the public. And
the meeting with the fire department was the last,
the
emergency responders was the last piece we needed for SRF to be able to go off.
Yeah.
Okay, and why could the State Street sidewalk not have been shifted to the side away from the mature, healthy trees?
Yeah, go ahead. It's the same question I asked you about the mature tree. Why couldn't it be shifted one way?
There has been numerous meetings about the design for that crosswalk, evidently, and many of these meetings took place before I took office, but I do know, and Zach's not here, he could probably further elaborate, there were issues with drainage.
I can.
Oh, Bob, thank you. Bob's here, so he can fill us in.
Yeah. The reason why we met with DOT actually out on the site, I think you were there, weren't you?
I was not, I think Lily was there. Somebody else was there.
Yeah. In any case, we walked up and down with DOT, and the problem, especially the further east you go, there's a grade change between the sidewalk and the road. And to locate it at places where it wouldn't interfere with driveways, wouldn't interfere with Durham Way itself, and also would have an acceptable grade, so the slope met ADA requirements. That was really the only location that worked, so that's why the location was chosen.
There's a lot of moving parts, when you're putting in a crosswalk, and I do know even with the medians that we're talking about, even conceptually, that road has the curve, but it also angles. Right. So there's other aspects of design and drainage and all of that. So at the end of the day, that's where the crosswalk went in. Yeah.
Okay, he said, should I call Renee or the mayor about his comments?
Sure, always, if you, absolutely, of course.
And one last one.
Okay. And then
will new trees be planted near the new crosswalk to replace those cut down?
That would be great. Okay, yep, we want trees. Okay,
All right.
okay, thanks, Art. Okay, next up, the pollinator garden, and that, Steve was going to be speaking, I think, to this tonight, but he's, as I said, he had a death in the family. This was brought up at the last meeting, and it's just the, the garden to go right behind here. The Seneca Zoo Society has funding for the project. It's part of what they have done for over 20 years. It's part of their butterfly beltway projects and their pollinator gardens. It's a big component of what they do, where it's community outreach. We work with the residents. I think it's a nice thing. It's best practices, really, in terms of what we're all interested in for sustainability in our village. And it's an opportunity to plant the pollinators back there, and people can come back and enjoy the pollinator garden and maybe pick a few flowers if they'd like. And I think it just shows best practices right here at Village Hall. Yeah. Yes.
May I ask a question to clarify? So Seneca Park Zoo would be providing the, what would they be providing versus what would the DPW be doing?
A DPW would just help prepare the site,
Okay.
And then they have funding through the Daisy Marquis Foundation, I think one of their primary sources. And so they have all the literature, the components, they hold workshops, they get the residents engaged, and they will provide the seeds, different plants and things like that. And I think some of them are seed plants, and then I think later on, it depends, I'm not sure which component, but I think they'll bring in actually growing plants and put in some other additional perennials. So I think it's a mix, what they're going to be providing for us. Yeah, it's a neat program. I've seen it in other areas. It's really cool. Yeah.
And to Justin's idea, Justin's email, where he said, could we consider this in other places too? I mean, that is kind of what we're hoping to do, right?
I think this is, I wouldn't say like a pilot project, but I think what this does is it kind of kicks, gets things going here, because I think we could have pollinator gardens all throughout our village. I think we can even look at the median on Washington. We could maybe add some additional pollinator plants to Paula Sherwood's beautiful garden down there. We have those new bump outs that we shouldn't plant now. They're not quite finished. I inquired today, but that's another opportunity for us to put in natives and perennials and pollinator plants. Also going down State Street, by Rachel's and by the Village Bakery, there's a number of opportunities there to tuck in some nice little pollinators and natives. So I think we have an opportunity in more than one place,
If I might just, so I guess right now what's in front of us is a 50-foot by 15-foot plot over on the side of the parking lot. And so it seems like that's what we're discussing. So I presented, I sent to the board a little while ago a couple of diagrams, and there are two things. First of all, there's the issue of the space here. It's actually a little bit bigger, and it seems like when you're looking at this, you've really got to kind of squeeze it down between a couple of trees, and it almost doesn't fit in that median.
It's actually going between the two light poles back there.
Okay, so it's farther back than that.
Yeah, okay. It's just going right between the two light poles, and we're just going to take that grassy area. Grass is a monoculture, so this is a great way to create that diversity right there, just between the two light poles. Yeah.
So it's actually fully behind the neighboring garage there?
Mm-hmm.
And is that
wherever the light pole starts,
or is that a shaded area?
It's sunny.
It's sunny, okay. And we're not taking out any trees to be doing that there? Okay.
And if we were to take out trees, I would take out an invasive tree. The ailanthus are back, but that's in the neighbors.
But there's the walnut. How are they going to deal with the walnut?
They looked at it. They feel they have no problem with the walnut, and also the grass is growing there, so it couldn't be too bad. Something's growing there. Usually grass doesn't grow under the walnut, so.
Grass will grow under a walnut.
Well, Seneca Zoo loves the site. They have visited that site now on 3 different occasions, and they're excited about it, and they're excited about working with the community. They didn't see it as a problem.
I just had a couple of other thoughts on this. In terms of the priorities, I think this is a great project, and I really support pollinator gardens. I want us to make sure that we're doing this as effectively as possible and getting the most value out of a project like this as possible. And this kind of fits in the overall scheme of what the village is doing to improve ecology and support environmental goals. When I've gone up to the Arboretum, There are a couple of things that are still happening at the top of the Arboretum. We've got an area that's closed, and Renee walked that site with me a while ago. Apparently, there are still a couple of things that need to be cleaned up. It doesn't seem like there's very much. As I've said previously, I have trouble identifying the hazards. The building inspector mentioned to me during the last meeting or during a break in the last meeting that it seems like the DPW has already done some work there. When I asked, when is the rest going to be cleared up and when is it going to be open, they said they just don't have enough time. And so to me, I want to make sure that we're being responsible to the existing dedicated parks and our existing projects that promote environmental goals before we start new ones. My proposal would be that if we're going to send the DPW to do the site prep for this new pollinator garden, that we would first tell them that the first priority is our existing parks, and they would do the cleanup necessary to take down the barriers at the top of the Arboretum. Along the same lines, there's also the fences that were put up for erosion control at the top of the Arboretum. That's no longer needed. That has not been needed since last year, so it's really just plastic junk that's along the top. And I also talked to Zach about that, and he said it's just a matter of time getting that out there. I believe that was Zach, or it might have been Steve who made that comment, but no one says that there's still a reason that those are there. So I'd like to see those things cleaned up, have the DPW spend a few hours there before we make a new pollinator garden. And just one last comment, I guess, if this is the only site that we can do this, that's great. I would rather have it twice as big and put it, as I presented this map here, here's the same dimension garden. It's a tiny yellow speck. I feel like once you're doing a project like this, the real cost is the labor in doing site prep and things like that. I would make twice the space and do it at the top of the Arboretum personally, but that's just my own preference.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Yes, Bob.
There's a big maintenance issue with the Arboretum. The Japanese knotweed that's there, in all likelihood, was introduced because the DPW at one point was dumping stuff that was swept up. It wasn't the main brush, but it was swept up materials that were dumped on that property. I believe that's how it initially started.
I don't know that we'll ever know that, but it's there.
That's
It's there, yeah.
It doesn't just appear, it has to be introduced. The problem right now is that mulch pile is probably, which is exactly, that's how you get it. I would recommend eliminating that, Mark, and getting that out of there, because that is basically a bed of potential invasive species that was dumped in the Arboretum and really needs to be removed.
The mulch pile is only leaves. The DPW was very careful about that. That is only leaf pickup, and there was no brush
to ensure that, and all it takes is a stem or a leaf.
I can tell you right now that parcel has had, I think it's almost 70% overrun with invasives, and that was when they did the invasive species mapping. The Seneca Park Zoo Society went in and did that. So I don't know that the mulch pile is really a big cause of something that's on, essentially a parcel of a number of acres. But I appreciate your input on that, and I think that's helpful. Well, thank you. Okay, thanks for that. So what's before us is the pollinator garden back here. I think it's a doable project. It's funded. And I think it'd be lovely for our community, and it would really be a nice point, nice little project for our village hall.
And the Seneca Park Zoo is already planning to do this one.
Oh, yeah,
if we were to reconsider and do, I get what Justin's saying about resources, and if you're going to do it a little bigger. But we're talking about a very small one that's at Village Hall. That's already, Seneca Park Zoo Foundation is already planning to do this one, and they already mapped it out for this tiny, set. And it's already mostly paid for except for the DPW, which will come and.
DPW estimated that maybe it would be an hour's worth of work, just to get the site.
And I don't know that they're mutually exclusive. I know this is their busy time, but if it's going to take them, you think, an hour to do that, and then some of the other things that we addressed up at the Arboretum just start to make headway there while we wait for the survey and all of that.
Yeah, there's a number of moving parts.
Okay.
Yep. And Steve's not here tonight to be able to, respond to some of the concerns you've raised. So, but really the agenda item before us right now is just this pollinator garden project behind Village Hall. So we could either table it and, have a full board if that's what everybody wants, or I'd entertain a motion to approve it. It's a nice project. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, your hands up.
I'll make a motion to approve it contingent on the DPW expending effort to work on the priority, which I believe is clearing up the top of the Arboretum.
I want to further discuss that because the clearing up the top of the Arboretum, I'm not comfortable with that, only to the extent, I'm speaking, I have the floor.
Point of order,
Excuse me,
I made a motion and.
I understand that. Steve Love, the code enforcement officer, isn't here tonight, and he may have some additional information about the status of the top of that hill, rather than making perhaps a determination that we don't have all that
Could you
information.
share that information tonight, please?
Steve Love isn't here.
Well, apparently you know what it is, why not share it?
No, I'm just saying, I don't know. He may have some additional information he would like to share. He's our code enforcement officer. He's the one who has been overseeing this and the remediation. He's not here this evening.
I'm concerned because Steve is the same one that made the determination.
You know, hang on.
Error.
Point of order, please. Point of order, please.
The public can't see.
Hang on, there was a motion made. Hang on. We'll let you speak, Bob. We know this is important to you, and it's important to all of us in this room, and anybody else listening. So, you made a motion.
If I may clarify too, I believe that there is room in this motion, since I'm expressing that it's a priority to work on cleaning up those areas. If there is some information that has not been presented to the board, I think that, that can be presented to us, and we can, if there's a reason that things can't be cleaned up.
Well, you
let's talk.
said that the fencing could come down. I don't know that I have that information that the fencing could come down from our code enforcement
I do.
officer. Well, I haven't seen it. I mean,
Let me, if you give me a couple minutes, I'll read it. It was from June of last year, and at that point, it was stated that the top of the Arboretum had reached final stabilization, which is
Yeah,
defined
the ryegrass was
as 3%
planted,
or
right.
more of vegetative coverage.
My understanding was that they had the fencing relocated more recently because there were still areas of concern.
Yes.
Right.
The area, and I can clarify that too, and Renee is also on the site visit, so I think she can also chime in here. There is an area at the top of the Arboretum that has been fenced off by the building inspector due to what he perceives as safety issues, due to things like asphalt pieces, there's one tire there,
Yeah.
and there might be a couple of roots.
Mhm.
So what I'm suggesting is that we have the DPW work on existing parks as we're working on these new efforts. And I would like to see them make an effort to clean that up, to take down the barriers. And if if I'm wrong that there is not final stabilization there, I've got this email here that I can present to everyone on the board momentarily. If there's an issue with erosion, then the fences obviously don't come down. My understanding, and I'm pretty sure of this, that they are no longer necessary.
We want to hear from Zach too. So I
Yeah,
don't think I'm comfortable. You made a motion, so I think we have to act on that motion. So if no one seconds it, the motion, nothing happens, right? So that's one way to do it,
Yeah.
or we send it, because I'm not comfortable without Zach here
We need the
making any
professionals to.
contingencies without knowing
Yeah.
what we're saying. Because if it's going to be an hour up there or 3 hours, whatever, great. I just want to
Mhm.
know how much work needs to go. So I don't think it needs to be contingent, in my opinion. But
If I may then amend my motion, I'll say that I will vote for my motion is that we approve the pollinator garden as proposed, and the DPW is assigned to spend up to 4 hours working on cleanup of anything that may be cleaned up at the top of the Arboretum. And at the end of that time, we will be issued a report of outstanding issues that require the barriers to still remain.
And can I just add one thing, because I hear where you're going with this,
Yeah.
I get it. That they spent 4 hours, based on the direction given to them by the code enforcement officer to make sure that we're in compliance.
And then to clean up the top area.
And what do we say, does that mean summer? What time frame are you talking about? So, because if they are super busy, I know
Yeah,
this is like
this
the
is
time when they're doing
crazy.
sidewalks, and
Yeah.
so and your point, you said an hour for this pollinator garden, which we are at hour,
Yes, it's about an hour.
so
Just to
just,
get the plot.
you're not saying it has to be done like this month or?
No, I'd like them to be done about at the same time. I want to make sure that the priorities are the existing parks before the new ecological resources. But if it's somewhere along the same, so let's say that this is getting established in the next month, if the DPW can also address the top of the Arboretum in the next month to invest those resources.
Yeah, I know, me too. I wish that was here, because the difference is here, they're spending an hour and a half, but then the rest of it is being done by somebody else. So they're
Yeah.
kind of different things, but
Well,
I get where I get where you're going with this, and do
Yeah,
we
we
need
all
any-
do. Of course
do we
we do.
need any more information? Are we comfortable with that? Can you say it again? We're saying, as long as.
Yeah, so what's the motion? Give us the motion.
Sorry, I should have.
Let me just take a step back, and before I restate the motion, my intent here is that the village resources are directed towards our priorities, and we are not neglecting existing parks while we make new resources for the environment. And so I don't intend to disrupt the pollinator garden or misuse resources in any way, but I think we've got a responsibility there. So what I'm proposing is that if we're spending an hour to set up the new garden, we spend about, let's say 4 person-hours doing cleanup, directed towards removing barriers that we have put up at the top of the arboretum.
In that,
Under the guidance of the code enforcement officer, because we want to make sure that it's being handled properly,
So amended.
because there's been remediation done, and so that should be part of
And I would
it.
also just like to add to that we would like to have, at the end of that period, direction about if barriers still need to stay up, what do we need to do to resolve that?
Yeah, that's the code enforcement officer, he can definitely work on that. Okay, we have a motion, do we kind of understand that? I mean, we're committing.
yeah, I'm not
DPW to-
totally comfortable
I know.
with it.
I know.
I support the intent. I'm just
Yeah, I
not
know, I think we all do, we all get
Can
it.
offer?
Excuse me.
comfortable.
Okay, I'll recognize you.
Thank you.
Please just don't speak out.
The Friends of the Arboretum is going to get on your agenda to make a proposal to assist with some of the maintenance of the Arboretum, including weeding the trees like we did this year. Today, I visited all the trees, and I'm amazed how healthy they are, and they're doing very well. I would also offer that we would be willing, similar to the cleanup of the canal that was orchestrated over the weekend, do a thorough, complete cleanup of trash, tires, things that we can lift and take out of the Arboretum. Our group would be very happy to do that.
Thank you. Thanks, yeah. Okay. There's a motion before us. I don't know, do we want a second or let it go? I don't know.
I want a cleaner motion, I just want to approve the garden. I think.
Yeah,
if
I hate mixing the two. I get where you're going, but we're doing a survey.
Yeah, we're already doing the
Yeah.
survey, like the intent, you're putting in a resolution to assure that our intent is to take care of this resource, which I appreciate and respect.
Yeah.
I think I'm not comfortable making all these contingencies. I'd rather just approve it or not. And if that means that it doesn't pass and we have to bring it up at our next meeting, that's fine, but I would prefer a cleaner resolution. Because I think our intent has been thus far to try to move forward with the Arboretum. We're trying to get some clarity. The walkthrough was very helpful to find out the hurdles or the steps we need to take to make Steve comfortable. And so I don't know. I'm wondering if we can do some other things aside from putting it all in the resolution to help you feel like we're moving forward and that the intent is to spend resources there.
Okay, so the bottom line is you are not going to second the motion?
That's correct.
Okay, and I will not second it either. The motion fails. And I guess at this point,
I'll make a motion to approve the pollinator garden, the 50 by 15 pollinator garden proposal.
okay, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Stetser.
Aye.
Trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And I want to say, we all want, you know, the Arboretum to move forward, but we're putting pieces in place, you know, we want this. And so I'm glad we're having the discussion, and I want to move on now to the Browse Street Tree Program. And actually, these two items are going to be combined with item 7 and item 8, because they're kind of one and the same, you know, we're all talking about the trees. And maybe what I'll do is I'll start actually with item number 8. Dorothea, did you hand out the?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, because there was a problem with the PDF file.
It just
went out.
liked one section of the.
Yeah, so you have before you, and the last sheet that you have is the list, the current list of Tree City villages in New York State. And we are not on the list. So what I'm asking the board to consider tonight is to take a look at the Tree City USA standards, the requirements for us to become a tree city. And I'll just go through them so the public can hear as well. The first standard, we must be in compliance with a tree board or a department, if you're a larger entity. And someone must be legally responsible for the care of the trees. You delegate tree care decisions to a professional forester, arborist, et cetera, with a citizen-led tree board or a combination. The second requirement is a tree care ordinance. And so this is obviously a number of communities in our area already have this. I think tonight it would be great if the board would direct our attorney to take a look into tree care ordinances and how they, what's out there, and maybe come back with some recommendations to our board. And that's to protect our canopy, particularly our older growth trees. The third standard for compliance is a community forestry program with an annual budget of at least $2 per capita. I think we already meet that requirement, but that's what they have. I think we actually exceed it. And then the last one, and we're all in on this one, an Arbor Day observance and a proclamation. So we're holding our event tomorrow.
Saturday.
I just thought we're already into Friday, we're just moving along.
Love this on a Friday.
No, we want it on a Saturday. So we have some pieces in place, but we do need to put those first two requirements in place for us to become a tree city. And just so everybody tonight understands, if you're listening, this is something that you seek to be recertified every single year. So, and that's why you see on the list that some communities have been, certified for 8 years or 3 years, just depending, on where they are in this process. I also just want to let you know that I had a nice meeting with Bill Smith, and the town of Pittsford is now seeking the same certification to become a tree city. So I think that's kind of great that we're all looking at the same thing. We all care about our trees. So what yes, Renee, go ahead.
Does this give us any protection from what happened with the utility company? What are the benefits of doing this? I love trees, as you know.
Yeah, and we'll send out additional.
My favorite things.
I know. I'll send out the whole. We'll send out, Dorothy. You'll send out the whole packet of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This was just quick because we realized that no one got the actual PDF.
Okay.
Okay. So this was just to give you the overview. There's tremendous benefits. It also protects old growth canopy from being cut. You have to go before there's ordinances. There's a tree committee. You have a professional arborist who can consult and make sure we're doing things in a proper way. But circling back to the utility companies, that's an issue. The utilities have, just nothing. The utilities kind of have the right of way. But that's another piece that I want to talk about. We might as well get into that right now. And that's the BROW, B-R-O-W, Street Tree Program. And BROW stands for Beyond the Right of Way. This program has been in existence actually for quite a while. There's a number of communities in Monroe County that are adherents of the BROW Street Tree Program. And everybody knows we've been getting our trees hacked up under the utility lines. Everybody's been concerned about it. We've had some big old trees just really be compromised. So this is an opportunity for hopefully the utility company and our village to work with our residents. So rather than replant a tree under the power lines, if it's been cut, we work with our neighbors, we supply a tree just on the other side of the sidewalk beyond the right of way, beyond the right of way. We supply the tree. There's also an opportunity, I believe, RG&E also will support this. We may actually get some trees from them. I'm reaching out to them because it's in their best interest to not have these trees growing up into the power lines. So I think it's a really great way to go. The Village of Rhinebeck has this program. It's been highly successful. It's not as though every single yard has a tree beyond the right of way, but when it's manageable and doable, this is another option for us and for our residents, and another way of really rebuilding and then preserving our canopy. Because when the tree grows over the sidewalk and starts to go towards the power lines, now it's less costly for RG&E to trim the tree back a little bit over the sidewalk, and it saves them money.
It doesn't mean that we would not plant trees in that. I mean, I brought
certainly
this up
plant
before.
small trees,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's really important that we have the protection
Absolutely.
between the
Yeah,
traffic.
and Renee, you
the
raise a good
sidewalk.
point, because that's all, that's also traffic calming, it's
Yeah.
protection. When, the trees beyond the right of way do grow up, they'll just
Provide
become
great-
part
yes.
of an overall canopy, yeah. I agree.
But they don't provide that actual.
But to
physical
go
layer.
through what we keep going through, this wash, rinse, repeat cycle of the tree under the power line, and then it gets hacked, and then we lose a tree, and then we plant it again. So, this is, I think, an opportunity for us to have another way to approach this in addition to replanting. So I think it's an opportunity. Yes, Bob?
It's so important for traffic calming to have the trees close to the curb. And there's lots of statistical studies that have actually been done to demonstrate that. So, and I would also say, as a historic urban cultural landscape of the village, that's historically where the trees were. And creating the canopy over the street is what actually has been shown to slow cars down. So I think the option of planting in people's lawns should only be an option of last resort. I think there's also an ability, which, in the last few years when we consulted with the Cornell Urban Cultural Department, there are trees, mid-sized trees like hawthorn, and generally planted under that power lines. They're native trees, and they can exist. It's not a tiny crabapple, but it's something in between. Also, when the trees are planted, a lot of times previously, people didn't look up to see where the lines are. But on many streets, there's an opportunity within the median to just move it over a few feet. So as long as the main stalk is clear of the lines, it'll work.
And again, I think this isn't one solution. This is a part of an overall solution, and I think we're all looking at the same thing,
But I would be cautious, because we took 30 years for me to reestablish the canopy around the village, and I would hate to see us lose it by not putting the trees back in the proper place where they've historically always been.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So, I would like to, proceed with this in terms of asking Jeff to take a look at tree ordinances and what that looks like. And, I know Brighton has a tree committee. They have tree ordinances. I was talking with Bill Mealy about it. It's been highly successful.
So would that be like I guess we don't, I'm getting ahead of myself because you haven't done that.
No, this is, early days, as we say.
We need as many trees in as many ways as possible. So, I would be curious, you mentioned that RG&E might pay for some trees as well. As long as it wasn't contingent on the fact that we are going to continue to put some in appropriate places in the.
Yeah, they the discussions we've had with them and have been actually pretty good. I think they recognize that. I said, we still want to plant something. Yeah. And they said, please don't plant something that's going to grow 60 feet. They get that. Okay. They really do. And so I think this is just one more tool in the toolbox for all of us and for our community to be able to use. So,
are any trees being planted this spring?
Yeah.
Okay, because so many have come out and there's so many holes now.
Yep. So we'd like to, sure,
just some questions here. Are we talking about a tree ordinance or the Beyond Right-of-Way program for our attorney to research, or both?
Well, I think both, but I mean, the ordinance really is something that Jeff, I know, can, drill down on.
And that's for that's specifically for the Tree City USA certification?
Yep.
So what we're talking about now is just the ordinance?
Yep, to direct him to take a look at that, at a tree ordinance for us, if we want to be a tree city, that this is,
what
we need to do. And part of that also, he would come up with the language to create the tree board, the tree committee.
So the Brow program is something separate.
Yeah, the Brow something. I mean, I combined the two items because we're talking about trees and we're talking about what's been going on in the village. So the Brow program I certainly, I'll bring back some additional information on it for the board, but I just wanted to introduce it. I think it's really something really worth considering. It has been successful in other
Yeah.
communities.
And
And again, it's one more tool in the
Yeah, we
toolbox.
pay for, someone says, yes, put it in my yard,
Yeah,
the
the way-
village maintains it.
The way it works in Rhinebeck is Rhinebeck will provide the tree to the resident. It's a native tree, and they plant the tree. And in Rhinebeck, the DPW takes care of the tree for several years. I'd kind of say maybe the first year will help them out, but they're getting a tree, and it's a nice thing, and they want to, I think our neighbors, many neighbors would want to, that I've spoken with, are excited about participating.
Okay.
So, and then it's their tree,
Okay.
it's not ours, it's
Yeah,
their
no.
tree. So, and the reason why RG&E or any utility company would be interested in a program such as this and supportive of it is that it cuts back, there's the pun, it cuts back on trimming, right up into the power lines, because now they can really manage the growth that's arching over the sidewalk and into the line, and it's just snipping it back a bit, as opposed to just taking a center cut right out of the tree. So, yeah.
So it sounds like there are three different things, potentially. There's the tree ordinance,
Mhm.
there's the tree committee,
Mhm.
and there's the brow.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, what is the relationship between the tree committee and the tree ordinance? Is it supposed to be a part of the ordinance that's drafted, or is it an entirely separate thing? As you're thinking about it now, what are we directing our attorney to look at?
I mean, knowing nothing about this subject, of course, I have an opinion. Seems to me that all three fit together.
I think there's-
Why would you want, three ordinances when they really sort of look like the tree committee you need a tree committee to work with it, to sort of recommend to the board on the tree ordinance. I mean, I'm making this up, I don't know how they work, I haven't seen one. But also you would think that you would want to have an ordinance around this brow program to sort of lay out the way things function.
Right.
Right, because it could be that nobody wants to have a tree, but we want it there as a tool.
So I would think that, I'm sure the tree city people have proposed ordinances. I bet you Brow has proposed
They do.
ordinances. I would think you might want to combine the two. I'm thinking of part one of chapter whatever and part two of chapter whatever.
Mhm.
And I agree with, I don't know if you did say this or not, but I thought I heard you intuit this or imply this, that somewhere or other the tree committee ought to work with it, somehow be involved with the tree ordinance.
Mhm.
When the tree committee also might be involved in the Brow program. I haven't really thought it through.
Yeah, but that's something that we can take a look at. That's the idea that it's being investigated and, recommendations can be made back to the board. And
I think if this, I guess I have some additional concerns about the Brow program and gifting trees to people to put on private property. And so I'd like to see how this all fits together. Jeff, how long do you think that it would take to provide us something to look at for our feedback? Can we do this in stages where we get initial ideas and then we authorize, the drafting? Or?
I mean, I am hoping the Tree City and Brow have ordinances. And it could be just as simple a matter as, here's a couple things the Tree City program does. Here's a couple things the Brow program does. Tell me what you like or don't like about them and try to then meld them all into something that makes sense.
So I would, personally, I support it if we're just getting sample ordinances. And then if we don't have good sample ordinances, Jeff, maybe you could come back to the board and say they don't have sample ordinances. How would you like to proceed? Is that something that you'd be comfortable with?
Yeah, I mean, if we find sample ordinances, you'll see them the same day I see them.
And if we don't, maybe we've got more to talk about it. There's no.
I think I have a folder on tree ordinances. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just like anything else. You'll come back and we can say, we don't like this, and we can tweak it and tailor it, yet you'll make sure we're tailoring it so that we're still under the Tree City standards. That's like three words.
Yeah,
That's
but
the only
I
problem.
think I'm understanding trustee Lightfoot's concern that I shouldn't spend a whole lot of time on this going down a path that you
Right.
won't be happy with.
there's a lot of information out there. I mean, there's so many communities that do this.
You won't be drafting your own.
There's-
what? Yeah.
thousands of
Template.
Tree City
Yeah.
communities out there that have these ordinances, So I hear what you're saying, and I think
Right,
there's,
just thought to go to, it sounds like,
Okay.
Yeah.
to see what they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just start there
Yeah.
and see what we
Yeah.
like and what we don't, yeah.
exactly, which is
Okay,
pretty much what we do. So sounds good?
we
Need to
need,
proceed?
yeah,
Well, that's what I'll do, I won't do any work, I'll just gather.
it still works.
That's work, that's work.
No, we want to leave it to you.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
but enough,
I know, it's getting late, okay.
80.
Okay.
That was a good one. Okay, so we
Oh,
need to make a motion.
that, come on.
I'll make a motion to have Jeff have
I
our.
think you could just direct me.
Can we just, okay, I didn't know if we, okay,
Refer him to,
great, go do that.
Just direct me to go look for ordinances.
yeah, and I have some
pass them
information,
along.
Jeff, I can shoot to you as well, because I've been looking at some of this too. So, okay, great. So, I'm wondering,
Yeah, we parking up there.
if we, parking up the road, yeah.
All right, did you want to, I think trustee Stetser started to make a motion. Do we want to?
No, I think he just said we don't need to make a motion.
In other words, we
just
have
direct-
referred this to
Yeah.
our attorney to take a look at this. I'm wondering if we shouldn't, item number 9, the formal staff reviews,
Yeah.
if we should, maybe we need the full board for that.
To have the discussion about.
Yeah,
when-
because, that's kind of a big
Justin,
topic.
that was our trustee,
Yeah.
if that
Do you
was
wanna wait for the
your,
full
you
board?
want to wait, or do you want to have an initial conversation
I
about?
believe, actually, I don't think it was my addition. I brought up this topic and I asked about those, but I think trustee Keating
Oh, okay.
asked for it to be
All
on
right.
the agenda.
So maybe we should put it on the next agenda.
So the intent is just to
We should have-
establish them and, yes.
Yeah, I brought this up originally in discussion a while ago during the budget process, and I'm concerned that we have staff who are assessed for raises. We have union negotiations that are upcoming, and it appears that we have not been doing the staff performance reviews on which to base those actions in the last at least 1 year, and maybe more.
So you're saying no written reviews?
No written reviews.
No written reviews, there have been reviews.
Oh, there's-
Yes.
If we don't have a record of it, though, I think that is a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know, well, I think with COVID too, things got a little
Yeah.
dicey, but I don't know, but,
But that's,
oh, good, so
Okay.
we'll put it on the next agenda?
Yeah.
and there may not be much need for discussion. I mean, if we start doing them, I don't,
Right, we don't,
Mhm.
what's there to talk
I
about?
will say the staff in the office is reviewed
Yes, it's DPW.
daily.
Well-
Not that bad, no, honestly, I'm not one to let grass
We're getting
grow if there's a
constant
problem,
feedback.
and I like to compliment staff
Yeah.
daily with everything.
I mean, and there's
Well,
staff-
I think we have that feedback you're talking about. Do I put it on paper all the time? No, but we do
Okay,
have
so-
feedback, but I get where you're going.
Same thing, just I'd like to say,
Yeah.
once a year, this is the written review that's in the
Sure.
file.
Okay, great, all right, so we'll just, when
We'll
everybody's
bring it
here.
back.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, member items?
I did have one very brief one, if I may. I spoke with a resident on South Main Street who had concerns about garbage pickup and their provider not providing great service. I have to say that personally, on the street that I live on, we've had some issues as well with the firm not recycling on multiple occasions.
is that the one that comes only every 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I'm
Mhm.
aware.
And this resident with whom I spoke had the suggestion of discussing something like a village-wide refuse district, essentially, whether it's
Yep.
part of the town or if it's something that we do independently. So that was the suggestion there. I don't know personally where I fall on that, except to say that I do see issues with the service provider for our street and other streets in the village, and it may be worth further discussion.
I can make 2 points on that, because I agree, I think everybody's kind of been a little up in arms over that. I met with Bill Smith to talk about refuse districts, because there's a couple in the town, and they haven't been successful in the town. He's going to be giving me some additional information about it, it's legislative action and all that. Jeff, you may be able to speak to that in some fashion if you have anything to add, but, that's something.
I thought they were going to do a survey which would include our village and then tell us what happened.
The town?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't hear that one.
this was Wow.
He didn't say
This was a
anything to me.
couple- It was a
Oh,
couple
it was
years
a while
ago.
back.
It was a while
Let me
back.
circle back on that. He didn't mention
They
it.
offered it up to village residents that
Ooh.
wanted
Oh,
to
let's do
join
that.
a district. Am I right?
Do you recall? Yeah, okay, so let's circle back. He
Yeah.
didn't bring that up in the meeting,
No, that was definitely offered to village residents to be
I
a
think-
part of their district.
which would be great. Okay.
The
Yeah,
reaction of the board then is much to the reaction of the board now, I think, and the board was going to look at the reaction, the community reaction from the survey to try to make a decision.
So we're back to that. So I'll follow up then with Bill on that, because he did not bring that up in the
Yeah, 'cause I
meeting. He
thought
talked
they-
about the districts that were already existing in the town.
yeah, I
Okay.
thought they would form, there was something about forming a district that
Yep.
included the village. If the village residents wanted to be a part of that, they had to contact the town. Am I remembering this correctly?
You are correct.
Wow.
Okay, then we'll
That was
circle back.
years ago.
Yeah, boy, good one. Wow.
I can't
Very
say names, but
impressive.
I can remember a meeting 2 years ago.
And then I did call one of the waste management refuse companies about about the level of service, and they have had tremendous labor issues. Yeah, so, yeah, I think, that's the story that's sort of out there for a lot of companies, so, I mean,
They've been pretty good at when, at least on my street, when they do miss, they will call and say,
Yes.
please leave it out. And so they're good at communicating, but I was
Yeah.
told it was an issue with
yeah.
labor as well.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
but anyway, I will circle back with Bill and find out about that survey, because that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah, having it all on one day too, instead of.
I know, in one
Yeah,
day,
On my
exactly.
street, like every day, there's a trash truck coming and
Yeah.
we could just get it together.
It's a
Yeah.
benefit of it, certainly. Any other
Seems
items?
to me there's been thoughts of doing this forever.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
And for some reason or other, never happened.
didn't get the
Yeah.
traction, yeah. Renee, any member items?
where we were talking about trees, and I just want to, we have lost a lot of them lately,
Yeah.
and so at some point, just understanding what our strategy is for, replanting, and I know this is all part of the bigger picture, and
Actually, I think that's a whole different issue than the one I'm looking at.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
Yeah. And that's
just kind of
something that a tree committee could really help come up with a plan too. We have the tree inventory and all
It's
that,
not a
but
different issue.
but-
particularly on the arterial roads,
Yeah.
Main Street and State and Monroe, and Jeff's,
there are also, some of the trees that were taken down were Norway maples and some Bradford pears and things that were invasive. So it is an opportunity for us to work with natives,
And some of them were compromised, and we were going
Well,
to have
yeah.
to, they've been on our list to take down.
And they took them down for free.
And they
in
took, right,
as
at no cost
mitigation.
to us.
Yeah.
But we often, what's the replacement
Yeah.
strategy is, and we probably need Zach, and
Yeah.
it's not on our agenda, but I just wanted
No,
to.
but it's a member item, so we
Yep.
can put it on the agenda
Okay,
and ask, Zach to address that.
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
so
all
don't
attached
forget
to
to make
trees.
sure-
Replanting.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, the
coming up with
replanting,
a
and
program
I
for
think
that.
Art asked a
Yeah,
question
because it's
too.
time. Sure.
We're having all of this great pedestrian improvement work, and some great restriping and resurfacing in our roads, and all sorts of good stuff going on too. So like there is, I understand why we've had to lose some of the trees. but
No, it's all about the canopy. It is. Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry. No, Bike to School Days next week. You all got an email about it. Sorry. I'm sorry.
What's the date of?
It is
yeah.
the, gosh.
Why do I have it in my phone?
Yes, in my, hold on a second, and so I can give you the rain date too, but somebody go on to another,
May 4th, 2022.
yeah, what's the rain date though? Let's see. May 4th is Bike to School Day. and
Rain
only
date is Friday, May 6th.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay. And it's only Jefferson Road School is the only one formally doing something. But of course, there'll be lots of kids and parents out, from the middle schools and all the schools from the
Yeah,
area.
no, it's
So
successful. It's nice. It's good.
hopefully it's a nice day.
Yeah, hopefully it won't snow.
Yeah.
Okay, the only, let's see, member items, I'm going to be out at Nikon next week. Looking forward to that. And we're going to be doing our annual organization, we'll put that on in May, okay, just so everybody knows. And I don't really have any other big member, did I miss one?
No, I had one. and I
You have a member
totally
item.
forgot. I have a member, it's not really a member item, it's a follow-up. From the budget last year, we budgeted for the meeting notice boards.
Oh, right.
Okay, I went from the HPB Monday. It's been a lot of meetings this week. Anyway, they did approve two meeting notice signs. I know the board funded one, but I figured while I was there, hopefully I can convince the funding of the second one.
Mhm.
We have a spot in the front, we chose, and a spot in the back for the meeting thing. So before I order and get it installed, I just wanted to let you know we followed the right steps and we'll be having that. So
Thank you.
publicly notice.
I just have a follow-up question about that. I remember approving some funding for the signs, but I was a little bit surprised to see the application go to the HPV without having been referred by this board. Who made the application to the HPV?
Stephen.
Village
Yeah.
office.
Steve,
The board had approved the signs through the budget, so I figured I was good to go. I mean, they haven't been ordered, but we agreed to fund them, so we had the public notice.
Is there a part of the process we missed? I mean, it was approved
I mean,
and she,
Within budget.
Yeah.
We already agreed to.
we agreed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking.
Practically, it is done, but depending on who can sign the application, does the clerk have that authority when you approve it in the budget?
I don't need to, I realize this has been done. I'm not asking for us to recall or rescind the application. To me, the correct process would be for an idea to come in front of this board for the specific sign so that we can see the design, and then this board would vote to refer it to the HPV so that there isn't any ambiguity. Anyway, what's done is done, but I'd like to see us follow that process going forward, whether or not it's legally necessary.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there was no disrespect intended. I was
Okay.
just moving forward to getting that completed before the year end, since it was budgeted.
Okay. I'm set here. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make some public comments.
Oh, sure.
Go ahead. Couple of things. I noticed that the historic Knapp House on 57 South Main Street, which is a major historic landmark, the shutters were removed from that house about 2 years ago. They haven't gone back. And, it seems like there's some spot enforcement going on in the village. The shutters are an important feature of that house. This is the house where the stucco was painted without HPV approval. That was actually a material change. I don't understand why that happened, but the shutters is an important element. There's other things that happened on that house. I know it was a difficult process before the HPV, but, if this was the Phoenix building, we would be very concerned about the loss of the shutters. We have to treat all of our historic resources in the same way. Secondly.
Can I just very quickly, can you speak to the painting of the house and what was in the code? There was
Now,
nothing
without
to.
going back and refreshing my memory.
Yeah, I know, because there was a lot of discussion about that.
Yeah, and I disagree with the discussion.
Yeah.
As a professional in the preservation field, I don't think the determination was correct. It was a material change. And my second question is, last year, the project was illegally canceled. Now that the Arboretum is moving forward again, and Margot Fass, who out of her own pocket donated several $1,000s, lost all that money because the project didn't go forward. This year, obviously, we're not ready to do it. Obviously, Steve wants to look at the site, but I would ask the board to authorize perhaps considering allowing us to do that last year or next year if Margot is willing, so at least the money she spent actually moves the project forward. The pollinator plants that were going to be part of that permaculture would have worked with the overseeding that was proposed from Jim Engel to start crowding out the invasives and start the type of ecosystem that we want to cultivate on that property, as well as being an educational tool. So I would ask the board to consider that. The Friends of the Arboretum is planning to get on your agenda, hopefully for the next meeting, with a proposal of different steps that we feel we could do to assist the village move the village arboretum along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, roll call.
Trustee Lightgev.
Aye.
Trustee Stetser.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Dorothea, could I get on the agenda? the next meeting for the Friends of the Robert C. Gordon Arena.
Yes.
And you can put it under Paula for the
I'm-
This is not on our agenda.